How's it going? I figured I'd rank a whole bunch of the different zombies maps all the way up until the end of BO3, including, I'm gonna include Extinction just for the fun of it, and, what is it? AW and IW, that's what I'm thinking, just for the fun of it. I'm gonna end at Black Ops 3 because everything after that I feel like I haven't played enough to really say much about. Like, I probably played most of it at least like once, but don't really care enough. Also, I'm not gonna lie, this video is probably gonna make people mad. And I'm kind of doing that intentionally to some degree, because I don't know, I've been having a bad week, and if you watch this, I kind of want you to have a bad week too. No, I'm kidding. No. But yeah, I might still accidentally make someone mad, but it's definitely not on purpose. But anyway, as far as like the tiers I'm gonna use, my top tiers will play whenever asked, where, you know, if someone asks me, hey, do you want to play this map? I'm gonna say yeah. Second is going to be just objectively fun, in my opinion. Now, I'm saying objectively, but that's just like for flavored text. So, everything is subjective, but I just think these maps are really good. The third tier here is just I had fun. You know, anytime I played it, I had some pretty good fun. Fourth is just can't complain, no issues. After that, we get to boring, where it's just like, I don't necessarily hate it, but I can't say this was any fun to me. Finally, we go to here to make you mad, where, you know, I think they're bad and you probably don't, so it's gonna make you angry, I imagine. And then finally, F you. As simple as that. I don't care if you like these maps, I don't. Those are the maps that are gonna go in this tier. So, World at War, Nocturne and Toten. I'm going to be honest. When you first started playing zombies, I remember the early days, right? I go to my aunt's house. My cousin sitting on his bed in his room. He had a water bed. I remember this vividly. A weird bed. I don't know why he had a water bed. It was well past the age where people had water beds. But he did have a water bed, and I remember the big thing was playing this after the World War campaign. Sorry, I literally broke the video in the middle of that, but either way. Yeah, so cousin sitting on waterbed, playing World at War zombies after the campaign. This map was really cool back in the day, but I don't really rate things based off when they came out, frankly. So I'm gonna put it in boring. If you play modern day Nocturne and Toten, it is boring, frankly speaking. The World at War version might have some interest to high round players, but I'm really not like a super high round player. You know, I might go for the occasional around 100 and try it, but don't necessarily love doing it in World at War. I think it's very glitchy, not very fun, and this map takes forever to get any zombies to show up. So frankly speaking, back in the day, you know, it'd probably be closer to the top. Right now, probably about there. And I know that might hurt your feelings. I'm not going to put it in like the real bad tiers, because I mean, I do think it has a little bit of stock. I had fun back in the day, and I think if you start out with this map, it'll still be fun. But as someone that's played a decent number of maps, not that fun. Verrucht. I'm going to say this about Verrucht. Verrucht is a little interesting to me. While it's in the World at War system, which I don't necessarily love anymore because it is so glitchy, it has probably the best atmosphere I've ever seen on a map. Like, anytime I play Verrucht, it is so good to this day. It's actually scary. It's one of the few zombies maps that I feel like is actually genuinely scary to this day. If I play Verrucht on my own, it is still creepy. And I think that has a lot of impact for me. While I don't necessarily think the gameplay is always the most fun, because, I mean, most of the guns drop off pretty early and it ends up being kind of boring. You have to just use traps a lot. It's still a relatively fun thing to play with friends because you're split up at the start, and I think that the atmosphere is top-notch. Also, it's the first map to have perks, which is pretty cool. As far as I know. But, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's a fun map. It's a step up from Noct, I would say, in terms of, like, atmosphere and things like that. I do think Noct has a bit of a creepy atmosphere, but I feel like there's so little on Noct that it kind of gets lost on me, whereas Verrucht genuinely feels creepy. It's like the only map that I still feel a little creeped out about playing to this day. That's why I put it there. Chinonuma, I mean, frankly speaking, I'm not really that much of a high rounder, but it is probably the best high round map, which I do think gives it a little credit. I'm probably going to put it in the same tier as Verrucht for me. I don't really think it beats Verrucht, but I think they have different merit. Verrucht, I think, has some of the best atmosphere in zombies, while Shinonuma, I think, is one of the best high round fun maps in zombies. It literally just lets you do whatever you want for as long as you want. It's a fun map. Can't really complain, and I think that the glitches in this map actually help it, whereas some other maps I don't think that's the case, especially in World at War. So, I mean, you know, I'm going to have to put it here. Also, I will say I'm going to rank the BO1 versions of all these maps just to do it, just for the fun of it. Probably going to be a little faster, but I do think there are some interesting things between the World at War versus the BO1 versions, so I don't know. I'm going to go over it. But yeah, I think for now I'm going to put these two here. I'm probably going to reorganize things at the end, but we'll see. Derice, now this is interesting. This is World at War Derice. World at War Derice is my least favorite version of Derice. I love the guns. The guns are so cool. I love the PPSH. It's the, you know, using the Wunderwaffe is so satisfying. It's the original Pack-a-Punch map. I'm going to put it in Can't Complain, but I do have complaints. Because I don't think it's boring, so I don't want to put it there. Maybe it's a faulty tier system, I'm sorry. But I'm going to put it in Can't Complain, and that's because it has some of the most, like, annoying glitches in World at War. The zombies hit you very, very annoying ways. Jug spawn is probably one of the worst jug spawns in the history of zombies. It's in like a back alley ditch that you have to run down and probably end up dying on round freaking 50 every single time. You know, it's very annoying. I mean, it doesn't have merit with like the quick revives and everything, so it's kind of a tough map at times. I feel like the guns in World at War, like, some of them are really cool and really good, but I also don't really feel like they carry you the same way as some other games, like later. I think that the Wunderwaffe glitches are some of the most annoying things ever. Because if you're on Derice, I feel like you want to use the Wunderwaffe, but if you use it on this version of Derice, you're gonna die. So it's like, it feels so bad. And I want to say this right now. Derice is one of my favorite maps of all time. It is. But not the World at War Derice, and you'll find that out later. There's a reason I'm ranking the BO1 versions. And I know it's going to be controversial, but for now, this version of Derice, I'm going to put in Can't Complain. I'm not going to lie to you, the BO1 version of Derice I like more. So, Kino der Toten. Kino is like, how do I put this? I feel like it's very overrated. I think that the BO1 system is a little better than the World at War system. So I do think it beats out Derice, but I think it's a less fun version of Derice. I feel like the map layout really isn't that interesting to me. You know, it's basically just go to the big screen, turn on the power, and then you pretty much stay on the stage half the time if you're playing with friends. Or if you're high rounding, I mean, I know some people go out in that little alleyway, but it's like, wow, there's 5 seconds of light on this map. Sick. I think the Nova Crawlers are just annoying. I know some people think like, oh, it's variety and it adds challenge. I don't really care about them. I think they're annoying. I think I have more fun on Shinonuma and Verrucht by far than I do on Kino. But I don't want to put it in Can't Complain because I think it edges out Derice enough to get to the next tier. The reason for that, I feel like, is the system is way less broken. It added the Thunder Gun, which is a really sick gun. I really do like the Thunder Gun. It's sick. It's cool. It's cool. The Jug is still annoying. Probably another annoying Jug spot. I wouldn't say it's as bad, but still annoying. And the Crawlers are manageable. I just don't love them. Also, the Pack-a-Punch is really easy on this map, which I think is kind of like a plus and a minus. I like it in Derice because it makes you explore the whole map. Whereas on this map, I feel like, frankly speaking, a lot of players probably never go to the like left and right hand side of the maps past the start of the game. A lot of players just stay in that stage area and only go over to the other parts of the map if they have to get like a box hit. So I feel like it really doesn't make use of the whole map that effectively. I think, again, This is for most players. Some people, yeah, they go all over the map, they train outside, they do all these cool things. Most players, I don't think, do that. They stay on the stage, and all they do is go to spawn to turn on the teleporter. I don't think it makes a lot of use of the space. 5 is interesting because it's really hard, and I feel like when I played it when I was younger, I would be like, oh man, I hate this. But going back and playing it, it's actually pretty fun. I think it's a really interesting map. The design is sick. I love the design. The design is so cool. One of the best designed maps in terms of like visuals, I would say, in all of Zombies. I love like the laboratories underground, like the whole like DEF CON, you know, turning on the switches, all that's so cool. The secret room with like the pack-a-punch, and I mean the freaking Pentagon thief is a little annoying, I'm not gonna lie, but he's also a little different and doesn't feel as annoying as the Nova Crawlers, because the Nova Crawlers are like, at a certain point, you're just always getting these things and they're so annoying. He shows up every couple of rounds and you can deal with him. It's okay. And I think the cast is incredible. I mean, having like, you know, John F. Kennedy, playing as John F. Kennedy's really cool. I think that's a super fun idea. Love it. I would say there's not like, it's definitely one of those maps that you go back to. Like, I can go back and play this. So I think I'm conflicted here. I don't think I'll go back whenever I'm asked to play this, because it isn't necessarily like my favorite, but I do think it's just a solid map looking back. And like in the modern state of Zombies, it is probably one of the few maps that I will definitively want to go back to. Not always, but I do like it, and it's one of those maps that I will go back to. Ascension, you know, to me, this is what I'm gonna say. Ascension has a similar vibe to Doris, obviously, right? With the like the moon landers and like the you know, doing all that stuff. It's literally just Doris in BO1. It's kind of like a reskinned version with a couple of unique little additions. But I will say the monkeys are really annoying, and while I don't think they ruin it, and I think this is a really easy map, I don't really like pests annoying me constantly, so it's kind of like, I don't know, but it's so casual friendly, and I feel like I could pop on, you know, BO1, play Ascension anytime and still have fun. I'm thinking either top of I had fun or bottom of objectively fun. I feel like it's not as replayable to me because it's not really challenging. It's just annoying at times. I'm gonna leave it here for now, but if maybe I'll change it later. I like to get like a good mix of like where everything is ranked. So if there's too much up here, I'll move some stuff. Maybe it'll go up, maybe it'll go down. I don't know. We'll see. For now, I think I'm gonna put it there. Call of the Dead. Call of the Dead's like probably one of the best. It's one of those maps that I feel like at the time was not very fun for me. When BO1 was coming out and I was playing these maps, I really didn't like playing it that much. I felt like it was kind of, I didn't like the fog, and it just, I don't know, it feels very one color, you know? The palette is very plain. But I feel like now, playing it again, I'm rating these based on my feelings now. I'm not rating these based on my feelings in the past. Now, that might have a little bit of impact on me. If I really, really fondly remember a map, it's probably going to make me think of it better now. But that doesn't mean, like, I'm going to judge it solely based on the past. What takes precedence for me is right now. And Call of the Dead, I think right now, for me, it's either will play whenever or top of objectively fun. It's just a solid, fun map. Like, I love having George A. Romero, the callbacks to, you know, just horror in general. Robert Englund's on this map. That's really cool. I mean, you can literally play as Freddy Krueger. I mean, Danny Trejo. It's such a cool map. I mean, it has ties to the. I mean, retroactively, I guess it has ties to The Walking Dead. I don't think that was out at the time. I don't remember, actually. I don't think that was. I don't know about that. But it has like ties to The Walking Dead. It's it's such a fun map as like a horror fan. I think the layout is a little janky, but not terrible. I think it has a lot of personality. I mean, like the zombies climbing up the chains to get on the boat, like the water, killing George to get the Wonderwaff. I mean, it's just, I feel like it is such like a fun map to this day, and it holds up so well that I have to put it up here. Shangri-La. You know what? I'm gonna tell you this right now. I never played Shangri-La solo. I always played it with randoms or friends. If this makes you mad, I do not care. This map with randoms is literal torture. I have scars from this map, and to this day, whenever I play it, I feel like I just don't have any drive. Zero drive to play it. I think the Baby Maker is just, it's cool. It's really cool. That's like probably one of the only things keeping me from the FU tier. It's just, I just have no fun. I don't like napalms. I think they're annoying. I don't like the screamer things. They're so annoying. I hate them. Also, on custom maps, people always put those things in. They're so freaking annoying. They don't kill you. They're just annoying. They just scream all the time, make your screen blurry. It's like, why do I want this on a map? It's just annoying. I know this is going to make people mad. I know it's going to make people mad. It's a beautiful map. I love the design. I love the Wonder Weapon, but I hate playing it. I've never had fun playing this map. If you play it, listen, here's my case. If you play this with randoms, you never pack a punch. You never pack a punch, ever. Even if you all have mics, you don't pack a punch because people just don't listen. It is one of the most annoying maps ever to play a quick play lobby, dude. It is so annoying. And that has ruined it for me. Every time I play it, I get PTSD. It is so hard. I have no fun. All the fun has been sucked out. As soon as you have seen everything on the map and see how, like, oh, it looks gorgeous, there's nothing left. It's like, there's nothing left for me to enjoy about this. They have two random power switches next to each other. What's the point of that? The spike mores, while they're cool, I don't really care. I mean, you use them once or twice and you're like, yeah, sick. The minecart, I mean, that's kind of cool. The minecart's cool. The minecart's actually pretty cool. I like that. I'm kind of rethinking this. I'm gonna leave it there for now. There's a lot of maps. Maybe I'll move it later. BO1 Moon looks like ass. It looks like ass. It's so just ugh. I'm gonna put it. I mean, this is hard. I think it has the coolest. It has one of the coolest Easter eggs ever. I mean, you literally blow up the Earth. That's really cool. You start in Area 51. That's really cool. But it looks so shit. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put it here. I would put it higher, but it looks so ass that I don't want to play it. It has so many cool features. It just looks terrible. That's really the only thing I can complain about. It just looks terrible. I think everything about it's cool, but it just looks like shit. BO1 knocked. Frankly speaking, you can't go to a higher round. They added Mule Kick to it retroactively, but why the hell would I want Mule Kick? It's boring. It's same tier. I really don't think it's that much of an improvement. I don't even know if it is an improvement. It's kind of like the guns aren't as cool, and you have Mule Kick. Sick. I mean, the BO ones are not as cool as the World at War guns. I mean, I think that's just true. I don't know. It's just eh. BO1 Verruct is weird to me because I feel like it's not as creepy as the World at War Verruct. I feel like it doesn't. It's the World at War Verruct, but I feel like it's just not as cool. The World at War one I feel like has so much more personality. I don't know why. I just get a better feel. So I'm gonna just put it in Can't Complain because like I feel like it just doesn't hit that same creepiness to me. BO1 Shinonuma, I mean, I think it's gonna go in the boring tier because it doesn't have any of the glitches that the World at War one has, so why would I play it? I don't really think it looks that interesting. I think the mud is annoying. The randomized perks, I mean, that's up to you. I mean, maybe you like that, maybe you don't. I don't really like it. It's up to you, though. I just feel like it's a less interesting version of the World at War one. I mean, maybe I could put in Can't Complain. Nah, no, I think the glitches are what makes the World at War one so much fun to me. BO1 Derice, I think, is objectively fun. BO1 Derice removes the glitches from World at War Derice. I think the gun choice is a little less interesting than World at War Derice, but I feel like the glitches being removed makes it so much better. I think Derice has one of the best layouts in Zombies history. I feel like it's so simplistically good. I mean, they force you, they corral you toward that power switch, they make you look at every side of the map. Almost every part of the map you can train in, which is really cool. And there's ways to limit yourself to make it a lot more fun. Visually, I think it's great. I mean, it's just... I think this is partially due to nostalgia and partially due to just glitches being fixed. I think this is the best... it's one of the best versions of Derice. I don't know. I'm not sure, because the Giant, I think, is, like, glitchy fun. Not glitchy fun, but, like, wacky fun Derice. So I don't know if I'd put that higher. I'm not really sure. We'll think about it. Transit. This is weird. Because frankly speaking, I think Transit has some fun replayability aspects. When, like, you really learn the map, I feel like it can be fun. But I think it's objectively shit. The only thing that made me even want to put it higher is that it has Carrion on it. That song is just so good. Freaking carry on, carry on, carry on. Just so good. And I need you, carry on. It's so good. I love that song. That's the only thing that makes me even want to put it kind of higher. It's really bad. I feel like the engine just did not help it at all. The lava's annoying. The town section of it has nothing to do. The jet gun sucks. It has a random knocked, just Easter egg thing. Really weird. I mean, I guess like the super Easter egg is kind of cool, but that really doesn't save it. The bus is annoying. Denizens suck ass. It's just, yeah, it's not good. Bus Depot is probably the worst survival map ever. I don't know why you'd ever play it. It literally has nothing on it at all. The only people that play this are people that are literally trying to challenge themselves, which, I mean, if you want to do that, be my guest. I don't really care. Farm, I mean, it has perks. It has perks. I'll put it a little higher. Town, I know people love Town. Honestly, I'd put it in Can't Complain. Like, I don't love it. I feel like it's not really that fun to me. I played it, but like, you play it once or twice and you're like, I don't have anything to do. I mean, it's okay. I'm not really a big fan of BO2. I don't like the visuals of it. I feel like everyone looks fat. All the guns look like they're on like widescreen. And I mean, the lava's so annoying. It's just like, why? Why would I play this? BO2 Nuketown. The randomized perks are annoying, but I do feel like the challenge is kind of fun on this because it doesn't have lava. It has the Ray Gun Mark II afterward, which is cool. I like playing with that. It has some interesting little story nods. I think I'll put it in top of Can't Complain. I feel like I enjoy it. I feel like, yeah, when I was younger, it was really annoying to have the random spawns, and I don't love the random spawns, but I do feel like that's kind of like the point of this map, to have like a little challenge with it. So I feel like if the map is kind of worked around it, and I don't have to spend a whole bunch of points like I do on Shinonuma to just get a random perk that I don't need, I feel like I like it. It's alright. It's not bad. Dire Eyes, I mean, people really hate this map. I don't hate it. I mean, to me, I feel like it's a novelty. You know, it's like, oh wow, we're jumping between skyscrapers and blah blah blah, but then it's like, there's not like, I don't feel that interested in it after that. A lot of the buildables I feel like aren't really even that necessary. Who's Who sucks. I feel like Who's Who could work on a bigger map. Because it's kind of like, if it like, I forget if the real version does this. I know the custom version does. But like if you revived yourself and you keep all your other perks, that's a cool idea. So I feel like it could work on different maps, but I don't think that the verticality helps it on this map. So I mean, I think I'm gonna have to put it there because like the perk was kind of useless on this map specifically. A lot of the traps aren't very useful. Visually, while I do think the outside is kind of cool, most of the time you're on the inside, and I don't think it's that cool. I do think there's some interesting things, like there's like a room where the box spawns on the ceiling. Haha, that's kind of cool. The jumping jacks are interesting. The solidifier is pretty cool. I think the pack is kind of boring. Like, why they just put it in an elevator? Okay. It's just not that good. I feel like there's not a lot to do. The Easter egg's boring. Like, I don't hate it. I wouldn't put it in the bottom tier because I really don't hate it. It's just kind of like not that fun. It doesn't really have anything I love. It's not really that memorable to me outside of like some of the buildings. But you're not really seeing the stuff that looks cool half the time. You're kind of indoors looking at garbage that's just like grays and blues. Just Mob of the Dead. I think I'm gonna put will play whenever asked. I mean, it's just a really unique map. The afterlife system is really cool. There's a lot to do on it. Brutus, I think, is a cool boss. Blundergat's cool. I like the different traps, like the acid traps and things like that. That's cool. The use of the gondola, I think, is a little better on this map than a lot of other ones. I mean, I would just say overall, it's just like, yeah, this is a solid map. I don't really have any complaints. There's nothing to complain about. That's why it's in the top tier. It's fun to go back to. There's a lot to do on it. The characters are really cool. The story is really cool. It's just fun. I think some areas of the map are a little claustrophobic, and I don't necessarily think that it uses its space perfectly, because I know a lot of people don't want to say anything bad about it, but I do think there are parts of the map that I just think objectively are kind of wasted. Like, there's nothing to do on them. You go over there, pick up one thing, and then never go there again, which I don't think is great, but I think there's so many other positives that it just doesn't bother me. The Golden Gate Bridge is really cool. I mean, it's just cool. It's just like there's not really a lot to complain about. Buried, honestly, Buried has really cool theming. I think it added the M1 irons. Time bombs are cool. Leroy, Arthur, whatever you want to call him, is cool. I think the witch house is an interesting idea. I like the maze. The paralyzer's really neat. A lot of the traps are cool. But my one problem with Buried is, and genuinely tell me in the comments if you have a different opinion or playstyle, you can let me know. When you play Buried, you always go to the same spot. Everyone. And you know where that is. I'm sure you know before I even say it. Where Jug is, I feel like everyone goes there. Every time I watch people play Buried, they're there. Every time I play Buried, they're there. Every time I hear someone talking about Buried, they're there. Literally, watch a video of someone playing Buried, and you'll see them in like 3 places in total. You'll see them in the spawn, by Jug, and in like the witch / pack-a-punch area. That's the only place that people go. That's it. You don't go anywhere else. I do think Vulturate is really cool. And I do think it's like a overall, like, I'd still put it in fun, but like you don't go anywhere. The utilization of the map is terrible. Like, there's tunnels on top. No one goes in those. Why would you ever go in them? There's no point. I think it added so many cool ideas, but it didn't make use of the space on the map at all. It was terribly done in terms of layout, in my opinion. I feel like you don't go anywhere. You really don't go anywhere. Like, you stay in like 3 places total. And it's, while I do think the map overall is still fun, I think that is like, that hinders it. That is like a super disappointing element of a map. You just go in like 2 places total. It's like, that's just not fun. BO2 Origins. This is interesting. Like, I don't know. I think it's definitely like in the fun categories. There's a lot to do. I think visually it's really cool. I don't really like the mud though. I feel like it's just kind of like, this is just here to make me annoyed. I mean, I think the panzers are cool, I guess, but like, I don't really think the grabbing and burning thing that the panzers do is really that neat. I think it's kind of annoying. The stabs are cool. I really don't have a lot to say about it. I mean, I'm gonna put it in objectively fun, I guess. Like, it is fun, and I would play it if someone asked, probably, but I'm not 100% on that. It's just kind of like, like, do I really want to go back and, you know, it's just like, I feel like it's a lot of blues and blacks and grays and not really that visually, like, colorful, but I do think there's a lot going on. I like the storyline. I like the layout. I think is cool. The Wonder Fizz. Yeah, I mean, I think bottom of objectively fun for me is fair. I like it, but like, is it my favorite map of all time or anything? No. Oh god, the Extinction. I'm gonna be honest. I think I played all these, but I don't really remember them that well. I think this is the first one. It was, I think it was okay. Like, I didn't hate it off the bat. I feel like Nightfall was one I didn't like. Mayday, I think I also didn't like. I think Awakening was a little better, if I remember right. Honestly, I don't remember enough to talk about these maps. I'm just putting them on this list for fluff, I think. I think this one was okay. I remember you have to like follow a drone or something and like mine stuff, and there was like a wall you had to tear down, and I don't know, it was okay. Honestly speaking, the only stuff I really remember about Ghosts would be the competitive Call of Duty at the time was pretty fun, but other than that, it really wasn't that good. Oh, Exodus. That was... is that bad? I think that one was bad. I'm barely remembering this. Outbreak, Outbreak was okay. I really don't think there was anything special about it. I'd probably put boring because I think it was one of the better ones. Infection, that's Burger Town. I mean, I think there was a lot of visually interesting stuff going on, but it wasn't very good. I remember, like, the bosses were kind of annoying. The layout wasn't really great. I think the Easter egg kind of sucked, if I remember right. Just wasn't great. Carrier's kind of interesting. I mean, it's on like a big aircraft carrier, if I'm not mistaken. It had a split spawn room, if I remember right. I think it was like a Verrucht style. So I think Carrier was kind of... It's an interesting idea. I'll probably put it in this next to Awakening and all that, like slightly below Outbreak and all that. Descent, that was the last one. That was the one where they have to like go into this like underwater facility and like kill Oz or whatever. I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on. I think like the fighting the boss was kind of cool. I'll put that next to Outbreak. I feel like I don't think the gameplay was great, but I do think it was kind of like silly. Like if you're playing with your friends, you could have fun. I think you can get the blunderbuss on this map, if I remember right, which is pretty cool. And you know, there's like a boss fight and everything. I feel like it's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. Shadows of Evil, I feel like it's a Mob of the Dead style situation for me. There's so much to do. The cast is really cool. I think, yeah, Jeff Goldblum was in this one, if I remember right. He was like Nero or something. It's just a cool map. There's a lot to do. The Wonder Weapon is really cool. It's also buildable, which is neat. Yeah, I mean, it's stylistically really cool. Has a lot to do. The Easter egg's actually kind of fun. I mean, I really think it's just like Mob of the Dead, where it basically does everything pretty well. I will say it still has a similar issue where some of the parts of the map kind of just turn into nothing after a while, and you end up just playing in certain areas more, which is, you know, it's a little annoying, but I don't hate it, so I still put it up in top. Like, I'll play it whenever someone asks me to play it. But I do think it is something to note, at least, where it's like, that's a little, like, It'd be nice if maybe that space was used a little bit better, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. And I think it has some cool things, like the Civil Protector, I think, was first on this map, if I remember right. Could remember that wrong, I don't know, but I think it was. All the worm stuff was weird. Like the beast mode was kind of interesting. I mean, I do feel like it's kind of like the Mob of the Dead of Black Ops 3 for me, where it's like, you know, a weird cast, different unique little items into it, a very different style compared to a lot of the other parts of the game. I mean, it's a cool map. I like it. Can't complain about it. Had fun. The Giant. I feel like a lot of people don't rate this as high as I feel like they should. I think it's like probably the best version of Derice. And I hate to be this guy, but like, it has the layout of the Derice map, which I think is probably the best casual layout in Zombies. I don't care about the snow. I actually think it's kind of nice. I think it's a visual distinction between the old map. And I think the snow kind of makes it feel, I don't know, it gives it a different vibe. I kind of like it. I feel like, visually speaking, I don't necessarily think it falls flat compared to old Derice. The BO3 guns, I feel like, are better than the BO1 guns, in my opinion. Not by a lot, but by a little bit. And I think having, like, all the fun perkaholic, not perkaholic, just, like, gobble gums and all that stuff, I feel like it just makes it the best casual map, in my opinion. I think Derice is probably the best casual map. I've never not had fun on Derice. I think it's so fun casually. I love playing it. And I think that the Giant is just Derice, but more wacky fun. And in my opinion, I like wacky fun more than serious a lot of the time. So I think it's probably one of the best, if not the best, casual fun maps. Derizendrach. I think this is basically just Origins, but better. So I'm gonna put it here. No, here. I think I'd still rather play Call of the Dead, honestly. But it is probably, it's better than Origins in my opinion, because it's just Origins, but like less annoying things, more streamlined. I think visually even it's a little more colorful to me. I think Origins has a lot going on, which makes it okay, but I think Derizendrach has a lot going on, and it's a little more colorful, so I like it a little more. I also think it can be a casual fun map, as well as a more, you know, serious map, which I think is good. Good mix between the two. And yeah, I mean, I can't ever see myself being, like, disappointed playing it. It's just a solid map. There's really not a lot to say about it. I think almost every list you'll find probably has it in, like, the top 5. It's a good map for a reason. You know, it's there for a reason, right? Zetsubo no Shima. You know what? When it first came out, I hated it a lot. I didn't think it was fun. I don't really know why I'd want to play. I didn't know why why I would play it. It just wasn't fun. I feel like it's like not casual friendly, which I feel like a lot of the player base is casual. So it's kind of like, why would you make a map like that? I don't really know, especially when it's on its own for a DLC. It's kind of like, why would a casual want to play it? Which I don't think is great. It's a lot of setup just to play, pretty much, and you kind of like have to do parts of the Easter egg just to play the game, which I think is kind of lame in a lot of ways. Visually, I don't really like it. I think it's a cool concept, and I like some of it, but I do feel like it's a lot of like muddy, just swampy, gross, like not really interesting visuals. I feel like out of all the maps in Black Ops 3, it's probably the one I'd want to play the least because it's just not visually appealing. There's a lot to do on it, but just because it has a lot to do doesn't necessarily mean it's good. I'll put it above Nuketown just because I feel like there's some reason to play it, but I don't really have fun on it, so I'm not going to put it in have fun. And I had fun. I don't have fun on it. Even like if you do all the stuff to set up, it's like, okay, now what? Gorod Krovi, I feel like is just Gorod Krovi is just cool. It's a really, I think it is pretty casual friendly. The rig on Mark IIIs are really cool. Dragon idea, everybody loves that. I think this is the one that brought the PPSH into the game, which is also really cool. One of the fans' favorite guns. A little drone thing. I forget what they're called. The little drones. What are they called? Shock you? Let me know below. They're kind of annoying. I don't really love them. But I think it's like, again, it's a really good casual map. And I think just being in the BO3 system, it beats out BO1 because, I mean, the gun choice is a little more fun. It's a lot more wacky with all the gobblegums. There's some challenges to do. There's a boss. There's more to do. But I feel like I don't put it above the Giant. I have more fun on the Giant, frankly. It's just, I think it's a taste thing. I feel like Gorod Krovi could go a lot higher if you have like a taste for it. I just might not have that same taste that you do. But I still think it's a really good map, and I would still put it in objectively fun. I love playing it. It's just not, maybe it's just not my thing as much. I don't know. Good map, love it. I think it's really fun casually, and, you know, playing a little harder for some Easter eggs and whatnot. Dragonfire's a little annoying, but that's okay. Revelations. Revelations, I feel like, is kind of silly fun. It's not the worst map in BO3, but I feel like it's visually a lot more fun. There's a lot going on, a lot of enemy variety. I feel like it has a lot of fun features. I don't really think it's as creative as a lot of other maps, but I do think it's super casual friendly, which is I put a lot of stock in casual friendly. I know some people don't, but I do, which I feel like gives it an edge. I think it's more interesting than all these. I'll put it right below Ascension. I feel like it's really casual fun. I don't really think it's that interesting if you're like a hardcore player, but I do think it's really fun casually, which I put a lot of stake in. I also love the visuals of it. I think it visually is very fun and striking. I just don't think it's very creative, which I do dock some points for, but I feel like how fun it is more important. Zombie Chronicles Noct. I'm gonna put it top of boring. All the Nocturne tones I think are boring, but at least this one has like gobblegums and a Wonder Fizz and things like that to make it a little more fun. Just stuff to do, rather than just like, I have no resources, how long can I go? Zombie Chronicles Verrucht I think is actually an insult. I'm gonna put it here because I think literally takes away the soul of Verrucht. I think it is probably one of the few just complete downgrades that you see from a remake. It has no soul. It's Verrucht if I was on acid. Like, it's not good. I just think it's bad. It has no soul. No soul at all. Zombie Chronicles Shinonuma. Where would I put this? Maybe like bottom of Can't Complain, I guess. I feel like the Zombies Chronicles version of Shinonuma is like, it's a little more fun. I think it's kind of dark, but I do like the visuals a little more than the other versions. Gobblegums I think are just fun. I think any map with Gobblegums is instantly a little more fun for me. Yeah, I would put it about there. Weapon choice is a little more fun, I think, than BO1 as well. There's more to do. Kino's weird. I think it would be an upgrade. The reason I think it's an upgrade is because the original Kino, I think visually is very like, eh. Whereas this one I think has a little more fun with it. And that's really the only difference. I think it just visually is a little more fun. Zombie Chronicles Ascension. I didn't really play this a lot. I don't remember if this is even good. I feel like I can't put it above BO1 Ascension unless I like play it more. So I'm just gonna put it next to BO1 Ascension, assuming that it's decent. BO3 Shangri-La I actually did play, and I think it is a step up. I like it more than the original Shangri-La. I think it's fun. I think it looks even better. I think it's more manageable to have fun on it because, you know, you can use silly gobblegums and actually like do silly things. And I also didn't play this one with randoms, so maybe that is why I like it more. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put it above the original Kino. I think it's a little more fun than the original Kino. BO3 Moon. This is such a step up. This is. I'm gonna put this above BO1 Darius, below Gorod Krovi. This map is such a step up. Way better visually. I think it's gorgeous. It's so colorful, so much fun, only better. The biggest issue that Moon had was the visual element of it. This makes that just obsolete. So much better. It is the only thing I can say about it, visually speaking, 20 times better. 100 times better. So good. Just better. Zombies Chronicles Origins. I didn't really play it that much. I already played Origins, why I'm gonna play Origins again? I don't know, it just wasn't, it was like, it was alright. I think it was a little worse, actually. I feel like it wasn't as smooth. I feel like, I remember the mud was like weird in that. I don't know. It was just like, Zombies in Spaceland. I really like Zombies in Spaceland. It was probably the best one in that game. I'm gonna put it. I feel crazy doing this. I'm gonna put it all the way up above the Giant, above Gorod. Zombies in Spaceland was really fun, dude. It was just wacky fun. David Hasselhoff, if I remember right, was on that map. It was just fun, dude. Going through the roller coaster, doing all the games. The wonder weapons were silly. They made them like break dance and things like that. It was just fun. Like it is, and there was like a lot of Easter egg stuff to do. I remember you had to like go into the projector room and shoot like UFOs and bring them into the real world and then blow up a UFO and kill a spaceman, and it was just fun. There's really not a lot to say about it. Like it was just visually fun. The sounds were great. I loved going around this like amusement park. It was just good. Like there's really nothing for me to complain about. Raven the Redwoods, I mean, visually, once again, I think it was pretty good. I don't really think it was as interesting. I feel like after Zombies in Spaceland, it's kind of like, what do you like? It's kind of, they kind of went backwards in decades, if I remember right. So it's basically just like, do you like that decade? And did you find that interesting? I'd probably put it like, I'll put it above like BO2 Nuketown. It was okay. Like, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. Shaolin Shuffle, if I remember right, this was very glitchy. I remember it being awkward. The Easter egg was kind of weird. Kung Fu and all that stuff was kind of neat. But I don't really have a big preference between that and Raven the Redwoods, so I'm going to put it in the same tier. They were okay. Didn't love them, didn't hate them. The radioactive thing, this is the one that everyone hates, but they hate it mostly because of the Easter egg, I feel, and like the weird steps, and I think there was something with like chemistry at one point in the Easter egg. But I think that having like Elvira and everything is so cool to me. Like I was mentioning before, I think if you like the certain like time frames, you might like it more, you might like it less. I like this one a little more. I know everyone hates it, but I thought it was kind of cool. I like the theming. This is literally just playing casually, not doing Easter eggs, just doing like, just absorbing the themery, like scenery. I was trying to mix like theming and scenery. It's just, I just like how it looks. Sorry. Hate me. Whatever. Oh, this is the last one I'm going to talk about. Beast from Beyond. That was shit. Yeah, that was shit. Yeah. I don't think anyone likes that map. It brought back Extinction enemies. Why the hell would you want to see those again? Yeah, no, that was just garbage. As far as like this other stuff down here, I mean, I haven't really played a lot of Vanguard and Cold War. I don't really care about BO4. World War II, you know, I like they tried. They tried in World War II to make it like a horror game again. I don't think they succeeded, but they tried. I think Verrückt is the peak of horror in Nazi zombies, but COD zombies, whatever. But yeah, I think that's about it. I'll link this list below, and if you want to make your own list or something like that, hey, it'll be there. Otherwise, I think that's about it, frankly. I'd appreciate if you could like, comment, subscribe, whatever. Maybe list some of your favorite maps down below, or why you disagree with me completely. That's okay. You can agree to disagree. If you love Noct or something. But yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, I'll see you. Bye.